Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary cases in all of Starfleet history. It's a story where pure logic clashes with profound loyalty, and it all leads to a shocking act of betrayal by, you guessed it, Starfleet's most trusted officer. And that's the real question here, isn't it? What on earth could push Mr. Spock, a man who is the living embodiment of logic, to commit mutiny? We're talking about a crime that, in Starfleet, could get you killed. So, this whole thing kicks off not with some big explanation, but with a series of cold, calculated, and totally criminal acts. Spock, the Enterprise's first officer, puts a plan into motion that, on the surface, makes absolutely no sense at all. And just look at how methodical this is. It's a four-step plan to ruin his career. He fakes a priority one message, hijacks the ship's computers to change course, kidnaps his own former captain, and then locks them on a heading for the one place in the entire galaxy that Starfleet says, do not go here. These are not random acts of passion. This is a very, very dangerous game. And this right here is the puzzle that Captain Kirk is trying to solve. You know, his best friend, Dr. McCoy, lays it out perfectly. Vulcans can't lie. It's against their nature. So, if Spock can't lie, how are his official logs suddenly fake? How are his actions so deceptive? It's a logical contradiction, and Kirk is stuck right in the middle of it. Now, that high-level officer Spock abducted, he is the key to this whole mystery. This isn't just some random admiral. It's the former commander of the Enterprise, the legendary Captain Christopher Pike, a man Spock served with and had incredible respect for more than a decade. And this is the absolute tragedy of Captain Pike. I mean, this guy was the quintessential Starfleet captain. But then a terrible accident during a rescue mission left him paralyzed, scarred, trapped. He can now only communicate with a single blinking light. One flash for yes, two for no. His mind is still there, sharp as ever, but he's a prisoner in his own body. This is the man Spock is risking everything for. So after he pulls off this perfect mutiny, seizes the ship and kidnaps Pike, Spock does the last thing anyone would expect. He just surrenders. He turns himself in for arrest, and with the ship still locked on its illegal course, a court-martial is held right there on the bridge of the Enterprise. The place they're heading is what makes this whole thing so serious. General Order 7 isn't some friendly suggestion. It is an absolute ironclad law. No Starfleet ship, for any reason, is allowed to go anywhere near the planet Talos IV. Period. Yeah, Spock isn't just risking getting thrown in the brig. By setting a course for Talos IV, he has knowingly and logically flown himself and the entire crew straight into the one crime that Starfleet still considers worthy of capital punishment. You can't get higher stakes than this. When the trial starts, Spock's big legal strategy is, well, to plead guilty to everything. He offers no defense, except for one thing. He insists that he be allowed to present classified evidence that he says will explain it all. And right here, Captain Kirk, who's caught between being a judge and being Spock's friend, makes a critical decision. He demands to know why, and by doing that, he legally opens the floor for Spock to present his case, which starts playing out for everyone to see on the main view screen. So what Spock shows them is basically a history lesson. It's secret footage from 13 years ago, back when Captain Pike was in command. And it reveals this hidden connection between the Enterprise and this forbidden planet, all starting with a rescue mission to find survivors from a ship that had been lost almost 2 decades earlier. The footage shows Captain Pike leading a team down to the surface. And sure enough, they find a camp with a handful of survivors. But it's all a setup. The survivors are just incredibly realistic illusions, a trap set by the planet's powerful, mind-bending inhabitants to capture Pike himself. So just as the court is trying to wrap their heads around this bizarre story, bam, the trial gets interrupted. It turns out Spock's brilliant plan had one major flaw. By playing this classified footage, he's actually broadcasting a signal directly from the forbidden planet. And guess what? Starfleet Command was listening. All of a sudden, this little internal ship problem has gone galactic. The highest levels of command are now watching this play out, and believe me, they are not pleased. And the response from the top is swift, and it is brutal. Starfleet Command immediately strips Kirk of his command. They order the Commodore on board to take over, and they issue a chilling directive. Stop the Enterprise from reaching Talos IV, even if you have to destroy the ship to do it. Spock's mutiny has just put his captain and everyone else in the crosshairs. So let's just pause for a second and look at the impossible position everyone is in. You've got Spock, caught between his loyalty to Pike and a guaranteed death sentence. You've got Kirk, torn between his duty to Starfleet and his friendship with Spock. And the court itself has to decide between the cold, hard letter of the law and, well, the possibility of mercy. The court can't decide whether to cut the transmission and obey Starfleet or to keep watching Spock's evidence. It's a tie. The deciding vote falls to the third member of the board, Captain Pike, the silent man at the very center of this storm. And with one single flash from his chair, Pike casts his vote. Yes. Let the story be told. He wants to see the rest of it, no matter what it costs him, or Kirk, or Spock. And that's what this all boils down to, isn't it? What Spock did was undeniably a crime. He broke an absolute law, plain and simple. But it was also an act of incredible compassion. It really makes you ask, when you're faced with real suffering, could breaking the rules sometimes be the most logical choice you can make?